I'm Vicki, and this is Women Who Write. And I didn't say I'm an alcoholic. That's another room. But I did. But I like to bring those rooms into this room because this is kind of like a meeting. For those of you who've ever been to one, anybody? Hands? No, I'm only kidding. I'm not in this program. Okay, I am not because I'm not naming the program, so I'm not therefore breaking tradition, so it's okay. But I heard this week in those rooms, which I love, there is no obstacle that I cannot give my way out of. Is that fantastic? So if I want love, I give love. If I want money, I give. Oh, I wanted to have a dollar bill in my pocket to give you at that moment, and I didn't. Oh, well, I ruined my own thing. But anyway, I really love that. And so, anyway, I got to chill out. So Pete isn't here. Pete George, where are you? You're working. I miss you. Shout out to Pete George. Thank you so much to Jason Reed for sitting in for Pete and for Michael Cole for helping. Let's give a hand to Linda Axie, the best photographer in the world. To Elle Latch, who welcomes you all in with her beauty and her water bottles. Water. Do you want some water? I love it. Look it. So, I have to chill for a second and think, because without Pete, I'm lost now. I'm used to him helping me, and it's like I'm putting up the things on the thing, and I'm doing all this stuff. Okay, so anyway, so a couple of months ago, our headliner did not show up, canceled at the last minute, and it was really, that stuff is kind of crazy making for those of you who put on shows, and there are many people in this room who do, and so I did not know what to do, but I remembered that Sarah Nimitz and Snuffy Walden had just put out a new CD, so I called Snuffy, who had been in the living room months ago, and Sarah wasn't available, but he said, let me call my friend Teresa James. And, I don't know what planet that I have been on. I didn't know who Snuffy was till he came. This is really scary, because I'm a music promoter, But I got educated really fast, and to Teresa, oh my God, Harriet screamed out, Teresa! But anyway, Teresa at the last minute couldn't do it, but she said she'd be happy to do it another time, and so they're here today, and in all their glory with Terry Wilson. Teresa and Terry were nominated for a Grammy Award this year. This guy's been nominated for 15 Emmys, won an Emmy, won 50 BMI Awards. It's crazy. Leslie, who sang here with Earth, Wind, and Fire like 5 years ago. Oh my God! So we have an unbelievable show. Adam Chester, Bill Berry. I'm very, very excited about today, and I'm very grateful. And there is no obstacle I cannot give my way out of. See, I couldn't give my way out of the musical guy who didn't show up because nobody wants to hear that. So that would not have worked out. So it doesn't always work. You're all looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy. I better get, all right, I'm having one of those days. Okay, so I also want to say that for those of you who have read my book, Don't Jump, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, and My Fucking Mother, yes. Oh, we have a special guest in the house today. For those of you who were here when Ed Asner was here, raise hands. Okay, yeah, you were. I'm Mary. Oh my God. So getting Ed laid, Deborah Pearl wrote that piece for Ed to do in the living room, and then turned it into a short film, which then won awards. And the producer's here?
Yes, from Detroit.
Hi, from Detroit, all the way. So yay! So it's an amazing piece.
Because you can watch it. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Prime if you haven't seen it.
And Ed said, what did Ed tell you that he wanted you to write the piece about?
He just said, write me a fucking scene.
Write me a fucking scene. So Deborah cursed, that wasn't me.
I'll write you a fucking scene. And I thought, oh God, I'll put him with a hooker. And
that was Deborah, but that's out of character. But anyway, that was fantastic, and I'm very excited about that.
Thank you for all that.
Thanks
to Cindy Beagle.
Cindy Beagle, who made it all happen. Where's Cindy? Where's your mom? You're not sitting with your mom. Where's Roberta? Where's Mama? There she is. She's sitting all the way in the back. You can sit here. You can sit. Oh, so the Beagles decided they had this pillow in their house, and they decided that I should have it. I have no idea why. I do not understand why they gave me that pillow. Okay, so coming in September, for those of you who read my book, you know that the male lead character is named Lenny.
Yes.
In September, after all these years, it's been 11 years that we've been doing Women Who Write. Isn't that crazy? 11 years, I know. And Lenny, it turns out, kinda, is my husband. And he was never allowed to come to Women Who Write, ever, because it was all women at the beginning. And by the time I started letting men in, I stopped letting him in. No. So anyway, he's going to come. Gabe Abelson was the head monologue writer for David Letterman, wrote for Leno, for Bill Maher, and he's a mentalist. He's mental, all right. Yeah, so he's going to come and he's going to do some mentalism for us and talk to us about it. But anyway, so I thought I would give a little introduction to Lenny, for those of you who haven't read my book, and if you haven't, why not? Okay, so because this is a literary salon, and today is all music, which is kind of crazy, but the way the music happened here, it used to be all people reading, and then about 6 months in, Lori Lieberman, who wrote the poem which inspired Killing Me Softly, contacted me, and she wanted to come and read, and I said, you inspire, you come and play, and so she did, and since then we've opened with music for the last 10 plus years, and on a rare occasion like today, we do all music, and so I'm your taste of literature. I heard that. No. So, okay. Don't jump. The only thing you need to know, I love this. I had special contact lenses made so that I didn't have to do this anymore, but I'm getting so old they don't work anymore. Now I still need the glasses. So the only thing you need to know is that Lenny and Andy were very good friends for a long time. And they consummated their relationship on a cruise ship on a very small bed, a teeny tiny bed, and they fell off the bed, and the rubber broke. That's all you need to know. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Excuse me? Yes, okay. Okay. On the car ride home, as we neared my building, the what happens next panic began to set in. Lenny dutifully double parked. Not without forethought, he made sure we were well out of view of my doorman. Signal number 1, he planned to kiss me, and so he did. Just as I was beginning to get lost in his kiss, I remembered our unfortunate last encounter, and the fact that I was still not in the clear. That was in the olden days when those things, yeah. Anyway, it kind of put a damper on things, but not for long. Lenny kissed me with such passion, coming from a place so deep, my negative feelings quickly dispersed. Signal number 2, he had more in mind. Basically speechless at this point, I indicated for him to park. Straightening up, I headed for the front door. I gave Carlos a little wave as he and Lenny exchanged a few baseball scores. I continued walking, each step marked and deliberate, taking my time, allowing Lenny time to catch up. Just as the elevator door opened, he placed his hands on my waist, guiding me inside while nibbling the back of my neck. There's something so damn sexy about being kissed from behind, unable to see one's seducer. It didn't take long for the fantasy of being slammed against the wall to come to fruition. Lenny spun me around and kissed me so fiercely my head clunked loudly against the back of the elevator. Startled, he pulled me back apologetically. I laughed, and then so did he, as I yanked him back to me. As the door opened, we spilled out, falling on the floor. Laughing like idiots, we struggled to get up. As I fumbled for my keys, Lenny's hands were slowly searching my body, again from behind. He soon found what he was seeking. As he attempted to cut my breasts, I wiggled away, embarrassed at the prospect of being eyed via peephole by Valerie, my nosy neighbor. As we got inside, kissing, undressing, and banging into everything in our path, we weren't graceful, but it sure was fun. Steps before reaching my bed, tangled in our partially removed clothing, we fell yet again. Our relationship really required mats. I took no time for music or candles. Thank you. I just noticed my nail is fun. This is going to distract me for the whole rest of the day. I ruined my... Okay, I took no time for music or candles. We had all the romance we needed, years worth. I didn't have to remind Lenny to be careful. Don't worry, Andy, I purchased top-of-the-line protection, guaranteed not to break or they take the kid. Just as he had been slow and methodical, taking his time to romance me, thank you, so was he in his seduction. We made love for hours, until just before daybreak. Exhausted, barely able to move, I didn't put up a fight when he began getting dressed. Sitting on the edge of the bed, as he put on his shoes, he turned back to face me. His eyes searched mine, like a puppy needing affirmation. I smiled. Normally, I would have been wounded beyond repair if a man left my bed before morning. But I knew Lenny would be back. This was more than sex. It was the beginning of love. I was in deep REM when the phone rang about an hour later, the sun now shining through the still open blinds. As I rose to close them, I felt a little trickle between my legs. Lenny's voice was stifling his excitement. I figured it was the aftermath of our passion until he started laughing. What? What's so funny? I mean, we'd have fun, but it wasn't really funny. Well, parts of it were funny, I guess, but Lenny, trying to control his laughter, actually had to take a moment to compose himself to speak. You know, when I left Andy, it was dark. I got dressed and split. He paused. Yeah, and I wanted to get back to sleep. Well, I didn't think much of it at the time, and I repeated impatiently, well, I said goodnight to Carlos. He smiled and then did a sort of double take. He looked at me in what I could only describe as horror. Oh, God. Horror? I was so distracted by you, I didn't give it much thought. As I got into my car, I was stopped at the light. I noticed the cabbie next to me. He looked over and nodded casually, and then he did a double take too. And he looked at me with the same startled expression. You're kidding. Why? Did you forget to put your shirt on or something? I was trying to figure out where he was going with this. Not exactly. But by this time, I was curious. So I looked at myself in the rear-view mirror. The sun was just beginning to come up, and I noticed my face was covered. Your face was covered in what? Blood. Blood? With that, I threw the lights on, and there was blood everywhere. On the sheets, on the pillows, on the floor. Holy shit! I was horrified and relieved. No unwanted pregnancy, but what a way to find out. Anyone else and I would have been mortified and joined a nunnery. But it was sweet, Lenny. And I figured any man who was going to have enough blood all over his face to be seen by a cab driver in another vehicle in the dark, I'm thinking that man, he just might be a keeper. That is so inappropriate, but then again, so am I. So, welcome to Women Who Write. Okay, so, next month, Peter Onorati. Did anybody watch Cop Rock back in the day? Peter's been in a ton of stuff, but I loved Cop Rock. Peter's going to be here. James Morrison from 24. He's also a singer-songwriter. He's amazing. And I just asked, the other night, Peg and I went and saw Jeff Young, who was a keyboard player for Jackson Browne. He did a set of his own tunes, and Danny DeAndrea was singing with him, and it was the most unbelievable thing. So I think she's going to come sing, and maybe with James, and it'll be wonderful. Tomorrow night on Game Changers, which is the talk show, where's Steve Resnick? Steve Resnick, the 45 King, who was on Game Changers with me just a few weeks ago. He has the Museum of Rock and Roll, and he has every 45 that charted from 1955 till today. And then he has every CD.
Yeah, either on vinyl, cassette single, or digital.
It is, and he has all this paraphernalia, and it's very close to here. So make good friends with Steve, and maybe he'll invite you over for a tour. It's the most amazing thing. So anyway, tomorrow night on Game Changers, Dan O'Shannon, who at 24 ran the room at Cheers, he bossed around Tracy Newman, our own Tracy Newman, yeah. And then he went on to Newhart, and he was an executive producer on Modern Family, so that's going to be on tomorrow night live at 7. I don't know what else I'm telling you. I'm not telling you anything else. Okay. It's me, right? I'm hot, I'm cranky. All right, I'm getting in a better mood now because I don't have to do anything anymore. Now I can just sit back and listen to music and have a good time with you. Okay. Bill Berry was here before, and he made me laugh a lot. He is the host of the long-running Los Angeles music showcase Songwriters Square, and many of you in here have done that, haven't you? His last album, Awkward Stage, contended for the Best Comedy Album in the 59th Annual Grammy Awards and features a singing Steve Martin. Bill's songs have been featured on Conan, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, and the Dr. Demento Show. Bill was recently the host of the weekly music education program, The Music Man, on Transit TV. Currently, he's presenting his award-winning one-man musical, Rose, Petals and Ashes, in theaters inside and outside the U.S., and he's in a festival that's coming up, which he'll tell us about. It's also the title of his about-to-drop CD. And what do we do after the show, ladies and gentlemen?
Buy CDs.
We buy stuff. We buy CDs. We buy whatever they got. It is my pleasure and my privilege and my thrill to welcome, please, Bill Baird. I don't know how to get out of here. Hi, Bill. Bill Berry.
Hi, all. Thank you, Vicki. That was a lovely introduction. And I am presenting my show, Rose, Petals and Ashes. I'm a singer-songwriter in the local folk community, and I've done some other work, but I found that I wanted to find another place to present my songs besides coffee houses with cappuccino machines going off in the middle. Cappuccino machine solo, that's good. And so what I did is I looked at my catalog of songs, which is really more of a pamphlet, you know, and chose a bunch of songs that, I thought this might be good, and built a show around it. And I've had some good luck, so I'm very pleased. I am taking it to another theater festival in Edmonton, Canada, the Edmonton Fringe, International Fringe, and I'll be there August 12th and 25th. And so that's what I'm doing, and I'll go ahead and start with a song from the show and from the new CD called Rose, Petals and Ashes, available right in the back. You know, I forgot my intro. I'm just gonna do the song. Two crows sitting on a barbed wire fence. Old one says, I see Farmer John. I like to get some corn, but it don't make no sense. Not while he's out watching the farm. Young crow says, man, you should get your eyes checked. That's a scarecrow out there in the corn. I ain't afraid of old Farmer John's tricks. I knowed about the scarecrow since the day I was born. And he said, ooh, and he don't scare me. He said, ooh, no, he don't scare me. Ooh, said he don't scare me. He don't scare me at all. Two crows sitting on a barbed wire fence. Old one says, is that so? Well, it looks to me like he's been moving around. I don't believe it's a reasonable time to go. Young crow says, man, you must be blind. That's the wind blowing those raggedy old clothes. I got a taste of sweet corn that's heavy on my mind. If you're afraid of a scarecrow, well, you can just starve, I suppose. And he said, ooh, and it don't scare me. He said, ooh, no, it don't scare me. Ooh, said it don't scare me. It don't scare me at all. Young crow said, oration. Old crow, he said no. Young crow looked him right in the eye and said, 1, 2, 3, go! Before the old crow knew it, young crow began to fly. And then blam, 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 come the buckshot. Young crow fall from the sky. Yeah, yeah. One crow sitting on a barbed wire fence, watching the feathers fall. He picks at some ticks and ruffles his wings and says, guess it was the farmer after all. old crow, he's seen Farmer John around. Starts work each day at early morn, but he always goes inside when the sun comes down. And that's when old crows get their fill of sweet, sweet corn. And he said, ooh, and it don't scare me. He said, ooh, said it don't scare me. Ooh, no, it don't scare me. It don't scare me at all. Very much. So the show is based around what I've, sort of my life and the life I've had with my mother, who's long passed now. And I start the show this way. I say, there are 3 deaths. The first is when your body ceases to function. The second is when your body is put in the grave. And the third is that moment, sometime in the future, when your name is spoken for the last time. And with that, I go about letting her know that I have the power over her name being spoken for the last time. And it's up to her to talk me into keeping her memory alive. The rest you're going to have to see. Okay.
It's great.
So this song is a song about me going to Germany, which is where my relatives come from, and meeting someone. I'm on the train to Hamburg to connect with my family tree. I stop for lunch out by the Baltic Sea. I see a woman working all alone in a closed boutique. She smiles at me and boom, my knees go weak. I find a flower shop and buy a bunch of daisies, 'cause a girl like that deserves a bright bouquet. I say, I'm on my way to Hamburg, I'll be gone with the morning train. She smiles and says, okay, Auf Wiedersehen. Tonight there will be a bonfire. Would you like to join me at 8? I say that I would. She says, don't be late. That night we sit apart, but keep on inching closer as I kiss the girl with daisies in her hair. And as the night goes rushing by, I see I'm getting further, further, further from her town. Further than love will allow. Still I wonder what she is doing now. I call her every hour from Hamburg. We talk about our day. Our feelings hide behind the words we say. And somewhere inside the silence are the promises we can't keep. It's another night that I won't get to sleep. I can't sleep. It's been many years since Hamburg. For a while we kept in touch. But she loved her home and I loved mine too much. The Christmas cards and phone calls became fewer and far between. Memories blur when love's not heard or seen. But high up on a shelf, I keep a single daisy in the pages of a German travel guide. And as the years go rushing by, I I see I'm getting further, further, further from her town. Further than love will allow. Still I wonder what she's doing now. I wonder what she is doing now. Still I wonder what she is doing now. Available on the CD, Rose, Petals and Ashes, songs from the show. I'd like to end now on a song that Vicki asked me personally to play, which I'm very proud to do so. I guess if there's a greatest hit in my pamphlet, this is it. It's a story. My mother, before she passed, she got a free piano from, if you remember, the recycler. And she had it delivered, right? She had it delivered, and it was old, and it was beat up, and it was free, and it was, but it was sturdy, and it was beautiful. And that piano, she changed my life when she gave me that piano. She really did. She brought someone into my life I wouldn't have met otherwise. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I'll tell you about her. Well, I found her in the phone book between physicians and picture frames. She showed up wearing parachute pants. Her hair was gray and pixie cut and had a cowlick sticking up. The t-shirt said, "Vive la France." The one on the left was looking straight at me, but the other one didn't even try. Let's take a peek at that old upright and see what we can see, said the piano tuner with the lazy eye. It was an old Draper and Sons from 1917 with original strings and ivory keys. And she opened up a leather wrap and laid the tools out on her lap and said, "I'd love to work on these." I asked her, could I watch her? In fact, that's what she preferred. Most people leave, she said. I don't know why. So I made some coffee for me and a cup of jasmine tea for the piano tuner with the lazy eye. And oh, when she started to play, well, it sounded like an old rusty horn on an old Chevrolet. But oh, she said, if I don't break a string, I'm gonna teach this piano to sing. Well, I asked her what she did when the piano tuning's done. I go to jail, she said, that's what I do. My husband's in there for killing a man, that's why the visits to jail began. He did it too. He's the most honest man that I've ever known, and murder is the most honest crime. Jails are full of honest murderers and lying thieves, said the piano tuner with the lazy eye. Then she told me about her years in the county mental ward. She said, my family got me in that mess. I wasn't crazy, that's the thing, it's just I always liked to sing. Too happy for my own good, I guess. You had to act real cool or they'd send you off to state. That's one ticket I didn't want to buy. They finally let me out, though I never did escape, said the piano tuner with the lazy eye. Then she told me more adventures, because they'd happen every day. And she'd work those tools while she talked. And she'd take another sip of tea and fix another broken key. And the strings would stretch, but they never popped. When she finished with the tuning, she looked right at me and said, this old girl's gonna be just fine. I couldn't tell if she was talking about the piano or the piano tuner with the lazy eye. And oh, the music she played was like sunrise and fireflies and lemonade. And oh, with hardly doing a thing, she taught that piano to sing. Well, I paid her in cash, and I waved her goodbye. I think about her now and then. She's out in the world somewhere, finding pianos to repair, so they can sing again. Some people spend their lives searching for a miracle. Some let the miracles pass them by. I found mine in the yellow pages, the piano tuner with a lazy eye.
Okay, she'll be right back. So I decided if in keeping with there is no obstacle that I can't give my way out of, I'm going to give you a piece of jewelry because I decided I want more of that. Okay, so yeah, let's go for jewelry. And cars. Maybe I could bring my car up here. So now I'm finally relaxed. You know, I'm an addict. I am not good with change. I don't like change. It's tough for me. He wasn't here. Thank you so much, Jason, for doing this. I'm really grateful. But you know, it's crazy. I'm like putting up the things before, and I'm running up and down, and I was actually dressed at 11 o'clock, which is a miracle. So I should have been really calm. Anyway, so now I'm having a great time. One more hand for Bill Berry. Somebody else in the audience. On Saturday night, my friend Cindy Beagle, because her mama, Roberta, who's looking out for me, invited me to go to Disney Hall for a jazz concert. I'm not a jazz concert so much, not so much with the jazz, especially progressive jazz. I don't understand it. I'm blonde. I'm not really. But anyway, I'm in my groove now, right? Yeah, I got it. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. Anyway, I went anyway because say yes. I'm about saying yes. Anyway, this gentleman, Mike Lang, was playing piano that night and blew the collective mind, but mine right out of my head. That was the most amazing concert. I now love jazz. I'm signing up. I'm buying some albums, yours, and my favorite song of the night was yours. Wait, tell me what it was called again. It was in two parts. Mandela. It was so amazing. And your bass player, tell me the name of your bass player. Mike Valerio, unbelievable what he did. I love stand-up bass, but what he did with that electric bass was insane. He was being the wind and weird things and being scary. And Jim Kelton, the drummer. Keltner. Yeah. Oh my God. He's played with everybody from John Lennon to Ringo to George to Joe Cocker. And you were all astounding. So I'm signing up for Jazz 101. I love you. Okay. There are so many people in this audience that deserve a shout out. And my girl, Crystal Husband over there. I just want to say this woman gets hit by a car and gets up here the next day last month. She brings up 7 people from Orange County to support her very old friend, Snuffy Walden. She's just the most amazing human being. She gives me feathers. There's this beautiful spread over there that Maha made for us. Maha! I'm sorry, I can't help it. The Three Stooges used to do this thing. Maha! Anyway, had me there. I'm old. You have no idea who the Three Stooges are, do you? No, you don't. Okay. All right. Slightly. Okay. Yes, we know that. Okay. Since 2005, Adam Chester's earned the title of the Surrogate Elton John. Hey, Shaw, what's this? My kids don't listen to me either. Okay, they're big now. So, yeah. And of course, my daughter called me as soon as Women Who Write started. Every time I do a live show, my daughter's 21. She knows better. She calls me every single time I start a live broadcast. Every single time. Yes. But there's no point to that. I'm just saying. Okay.
At least she calls.
That's right. At least she calls. It's so wonderful. And so much growth. When I started Women Who Write, she was in elementary school, and she just graduated NYU Tisch with honors and is now living in New York. And my son, 25, is still living with me. But I like it that way. I love my Harry. Okay, so since 2005, Adam Chester has been the surrogate Elton John, working exclusively with Sir Elton and his band as Elton's only stand-in on the piano and vocals for various rehearsals, sound checks, and concert appearances. He also composes. Arranges, and conducts for Elton. Adam conducted the Brooklyn Youth Chorus in concert at Madison Square Garden for Elton's 60th birthday concert. Elton just celebrated 29 years sober. Yeah. Go Elton. And arranged the choral parts for Elton's single, Home Again. With the whole current Rocket Man thing, I think this is very well timed. Adam is also the author of Smother, like smother. Gee, I wouldn't know anything about that. A book about inappropriate letters he received from his mother over the past 30 years. Naughty boy. Anyway, Adam is going to treat us to a song of his own, and then we're going to do a little Elton John. So, everybody, please welcome Adam Chester.
I could limbo under the keyboard. That would be weird.
Hello,
Mike.
Go. This is very professional.
Wow, this is awesome.
Thank you for being my
Sure.
roadie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, excellent.
Here, I'll swing around this way. I was just kidding about that whole Elton thing. I know. So, hi everybody. This is exciting. Hi, Mom. Hi, Jason. Thanks for doing this, kids. It's a long story, but so in 2000, many years ago, I got to know Davy Johnstone, who's the one of the original guitarists for Elton, and now his music director and guitar player. Nigel Olsson is still in the band too, which is awesome. Wow. Still the drummer. Hi, Nigel. Anyway, so I've known Davey for a while. I met him when I was working after I graduated USC Music School. Not knowing what I wanted to do with my life and my degree in music composition, I thought, what the hell, I'll work at Music Plus. So I worked at Music Plus, and one day this guy walks in with long hair, and I'm like, holy shit, can you say shit? I hope. Go easy on the shit.
I see someone wasn't listening.
Okay, never mind. So he walks in, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Davy Johnstone, and we got to be friends. Cut to 2004, he said, hey, would you be interested in rehearsing the band? Because Elton always, doesn't always have time to. And I thought, what? And so from that day, I started rehearsing the group. I was sitting in, singing the piano, singing his part, so Elton didn't have to be there. So they made a CD of it. They got it to Elton. Elton said, hey, let's bring him to Boston. So they brought me to Boston, and this is funny, because as a reward for rehearsing them all there, he said, well, why doesn't he sing with the choir? And there was this 6-member choir. I was the only straight white guy in the choir, and they all had dance moves to the song. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I'm Jewish. I play behind a piano. I don't dance. It's not. I took classes in Arthur Murray when I was a kid. It didn't help. So I'm up there on stage now in Boston, and I'm trying to do these things. and whatever. I by the time we hit the Garden for the third night now, I'm singing live, and I'm doing this stuff on stage, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot, but I think I got it. So the show ends, we're packing up, we break down, and this couple walks up to me, and they say, excuse me, you were up there, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, my wife and I are curious, did you win a contest? So then I started conducting for him. Anyway, I wrote a book. It's the only one I brought today. This is a book of poetry. It's called Smelling Salts. I wrote this, and yeah, that's my nose. If you cover it, it sort of looks like the moon. And then this is the book I wrote about my mother. It's called Smother. And I was working for a long time with Gary Marshall, trying to make it into a television show. I tell people that my mother killed Gary Marshall because I think she did. We were so close to finishing the script. But whatever, now, since this book came out, it has not been optioned. So now it's optioned by someone else. They're trying to make a television show about it. I just really want to give you an idea. I've collected about 1,000 letters from my mother. I saved them all because I knew one day I would need proof that this happened. This is just an example of one of the things she said, and then I'll play you some music. This is very quick. Dear Adam, I hope if ever you have intruders in your apartment while you're asleep and wake up, you let them have whatever they want. That way, they won't bother you and leave you alone. Don't start fighting with them. Keep your windows locked. You're right on an alley on the first floor. Also, drink bottled water. The pipes in your building are old, and the water could contain lead. So that book came out, it was published by the people who did Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and it's available everywhere, and hopefully on television one day. I have a crazy life. I do that, I do the Elton stuff, I still rehearse them, and then I manage a piano store in Sherman Oaks where I've seen Mike playing. It's Keyboard Concepts, and we sell pianos. And we have a tuner with a lazy eye, which is so weird. What are the chances? So I wanted to do a song. A friend of mine is Mark Wallengren, who used to be on the air with Mark and Kim in the morning. Now he's Mark Wallengren on Coast FM in the afternoon. And several years ago he said, look, every year we play Christmas music on Coast. There's no Hanukkah songs. And I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. So I wrote one. And they play it every year. This is called 8 Days and Nights. Raise your head up, look around. It's such a pretty country. And just to put it bluntly, it's a mess. In these moments after the war, all the wounded pride here, all the ones who died here. It's gonna take some time to carry on. Every day's a miracle. Celebrate the miracle. Let the candle burn for 8 days and nights. I used to take my son to school. It's such a pretty building, and one day we'll rebuild it, you can bet. If we want to, there's a way, yeah. And isn't it relieving that after all the grieving, we still have the faith to carry on? Yes, I believe every day's a miracle. celebrate the miracle. Let the candle burn for 8 days and nights. As sure as the sun is in the sky, everything will be alright. Let the candle burn for 8 days and nights. 8 days and nights. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's on Coast, and apparently a lot of Jews don't listen to Coast, but I don't know. I was gonna do one more tune before Elton. This is kind of a quick one. So this show that we're building around Smother is basically going to be somewhat of a reality thing where I'm. Actually, my mother's in the car. If I'll probably get her. Never mind. Anyway, so it's kind of based on reality, this show, and it's going to have a musical segment to it where the character, who's driven crazy by his mother, is writing a musical about his mother for therapy. So this is a little piece. I'm going to try to remember this. I've never done this live. I wrote this with my friend Eve Nelson, and it's kind of a cool thing because we get to be Adam and Eve as the writing team. Everything's a joke. It's my family says, "How come nothing serious?" I don't know. You get to a point you're like nothing serious anymore. So this is actually I got my mother who lives down the street from me, in the same building as my mother-in-law, which is another sitcom, totally. And so I had her record her voice. This is what it sounds like, and this is basically the start of the song. Adam. Every time I take a shit, she calls my name. Adam, madam, I am Adam. And if I have to hear that madam yell another Adam, I'm surely gonna go insane. My father, rest in peace, he left me here without a brother, sister, it's just me and my mother. I get the 3rd degree when I wander down the street. She'll think I'll get abducted. Becky, Leslie, Louie, Benny, Alex, Jamie, Flo, Ricky, Richarino, Romy, Ronnie, everyone in 7th grade made fun of me. Am I destined to be gay? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Adam. Damn! Here I am. Never mind. She's really a good sport. I mean, she really is a good sport. If this will help you, I'll do it. So for one little number by my buddy Elton, a quick story. I've been a fan of Elton since I was like 7, and the fact that I'm doing this now is so crazy. To walk into a room, I mean, my bedroom was splattered with Elton posters. I would look in a mirror and pretend to be Elton, well, not always, but I would pretend to be Elton playing, and it was so thrilling when this whole thing happened, and the fact that my kids know him now. My oldest was bar mitzvah 2 years ago. Elton wrote a private note to my kid, and I read it, and it was the only time I cried in the whole damn bar mitzvah, because I couldn't believe I was reading something sent to my son, who was 13. And I asked him to do it for my second son, who's getting bar mitzvah August 31st. You're all invited. And he said, I'm sorry, who is this? Come on, man. Let's all sing along if you want. Blue jean baby, Ellen lady, he seems just full of band. Pretty eyes, a pirate smile. You marry a music man. Ballerina, oh, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. But now she's in me. You're always with me. Tiny dancer in my hand. Yeah. We'll go to this part. Oh, I feel so real, lying in no one near, only you, and you can hear me when I say softly, slowly, hold me closer, tiny dancer. We'll count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down, sheets of lead. Lay me down. You had a busy day today. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you. One more up.
An
Okay.
album that everybody can sing along with.
All right, let's do this one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Here we go. Hey kids, shake it loose together. Spotlight's hitting something that's been known to change the weather. We'll kill the fatty curve tonight, so stick around. Yeah, we're gonna. What is it? I don't know the words. Oh, hey, you're on, you haven't seen them yet. Oh, but they're so spaced out. Benny and the Jets, Benny and the Jets. Oh, the weed and they're wonderful. Oh, Benny, she's really keen. She's got electric roots. A boy suit, you know I read it in a magazine. Benny
crazy. One more hand for Adam Chester. All right, something was, see, I did this so I wouldn't forget because this is coming up. Pete! Look it! Where are you? God damn it! Oh, I can't fix it. It's going to be in the video like this. I have to fix this. Look at this. This is my very, oh God. No,
You can always make it worse.
Grace under fire. Adam Chester, I gotta, come on. We've had Mickey Dolenz, we've had Howard Kalin, we've had Earth, Wind and Fire, Paul Williams. I said when I sent out the mailer the other day that I thought today was going to be in the top musical performances ever in the history of women who write. And it's already been so, and we're about to continue that momentum. Oh my God, that this happens. So, I was talking before about the fact that I had called Snuffy and he had reached out to Teresa and they were willing to do this. Nobody makes any money at this gig. And it's kind of...
we're not getting paid?
Uh-oh! I guess I spoke too soon. Yes, Terry! Yes! But anyway, this is for the love of art and for community. And I knew that if I called Snuffy that he was going to try to be of service because that's who he is. And everybody here is being of service. And when you show up and you put some food on the table, you're being of service. When you put your ass in the chair, you're being of service to the artist. That's what we do. And it's a beautiful thing. So Ma, there's a reason that I do this. Yeah. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so Snuffy and Sarah Nimitz have a new CD called Get Right. And so we're going to have Sarah back with Snuffy at another time so that they can do that, because that was going to be the next performance. But in the meantime, we've got this. And I have been listening to Teresa James and all right, wait, it's not the Babylon Tramps. Wait, I got to get this right. And the Rhythm Tramps, okay, ad nauseum, around the clock, on looping you in my kitchen for the last couple of weeks. And I cannot believe that I adore you. Oh my God. This woman sounds like I don't want to liken her to anybody because she's completely unique, but she's absolutely extraordinary. And all right, so let's list some credits. So, oh, did I mention that she was nominated for a 2019 Grammy Award with Terry Wilson, her husband? I'm going to go backwards here because I wasn't looking at my notes. This man, Emmy Award for The West Wing for composing, 15 other Emmy Awards, 50 BMI Awards, won one this year. Played with Chaka Khan and with Eric Burdon and had his own band, Stray Dog, that opened for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That guy's rock star. Teresa, oh my God, she's performed with Levon Helm, also with Eric Burdon. And who didn't perform with Eric Burdon today? Because Terry, did you perform with Eric Burdon? Wait, let's see. Yeah, and Teresa's, yeah, see? I'm the only one who hasn't. Teresa also recorded with Randy Newman, with Eric Burdon, with Bill Medley. Let's see. I'm all over the place here. I'm trying to find Terry. Terry is has been making music with Snuffy since the 60s. Wow. I was around then. But these guys have been playing together forever, and they have another band with Leslie Smith, the voice, the Babylon Social Club, that I have gone to a few of their gigs. It is amazing. If you have an opportunity, Leslie, you sticking around for a while? Going to be some more Babylon Social Club, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm screwing up everybody's credits all over the place, and I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to hear them play. So we are oh my God. We are. My mother's going, see, you should have used better tape. This is a blessing beyond compare, and I feel so blessed that I get to present this to you. I'm so grateful to you all for doing this. Let's rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Teresa James and the Babylon Tramps. Snuffy Walden, Teresa
We can do this, right?
Wow. I know. Jeez, no pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at all. This is such an amazing thing. I have to say, Snuffy was very short on details when he goes, yeah, it's just this thing, and it's in a, it'll be fun. Just do it. And I always kind of consider myself a blue-collar singer. It's like somebody says, hey, you want to sing? I say, sure. What is it? I'm always happy to do it, and yeah, thanks for that gorgeous introduction. Gosh, you guys, Bill, Adam, I don't even know how to follow that. I gotta say. Yeah. So, and thank you. What have I done? Stop.
You got the demo room.
I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm sorry. You see how together I am here. This is so wacky. Let's see if it works. Yes.
Now you have to work.
Alrighty. It's been really fun. Terry and I have had our band, the Rhythm Tramps, together for over 20 years, and known these guys for a while, and I'm a big fan of the Babylon Social Club. So sometimes Sarah, she's been going out with the Postmodern Jukebox, so they always let me come and be a Babylon socialite when she's not there. So we thought it would just be really fun. We've done a few Babylon Tramps gigs. So.
That's right.
I'm so nervous. I can't believe
Don't you be nervous.
Here's a Terry Wilson song. And I've seen them in all kinds of places. There's so many people here I haven't seen in so many years, and so many people I've heard about forever and never met. There's so much talent on this side of the room. It's daunting, isn't it? It's amazing. You guys, thank you so much for inviting me and us
thank you so much.
to be here. And yeah, we got the Grammy nomination this year, which was just We've been doing this for so long. And I mean, it was actually kind of a miracle. We don't have management. We don't have a label. We do it, I mean, it was just like, we always submit our records, because honestly, I just figure when people look at the ballot, they'll see our name one more time. And maybe someday they'll remember, oh, wait, now that rings a bell. You know what I mean? But honestly, I never look to see who's nominated because it's never us. And Tony Bronicle called me at 6 o'clock that morning, or texted me, said, congratulations. I'm like, okay, wake up, what for? And for your Grammy nomination. And I just know, I don't know if y'all know Tony, but I was like, yeah, right. But then other people started. So anyway, it was exciting. This next song is actually on that Grammy-nominated album. We have 10 CDs that we've put out. We've been doing this forever, so, which is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Adam showed me a new trick here. I'm trying this. I'm going to combine my sounds here.
That's awesome.
Anyway, this song is called I Know I Ain't Been So Perfect. Why'd you have to go? Don't let day. You and me, we go a long way back. Sticks and stones can hurt, but words can too. Yeah, the bridge didn't burn. Was that what you were trying to do? Didn't have to go across that line. I know time's been tough, but we've both been trying. Taking battles if it keeps you ground. Yeah, but I just don't understand why you're making me down. I know I ain't been so perfect. Never said I'm bad in 1,000. Didn't think I wanna have to climb that mountain. Just want to give respect. I'll be the point of your name there. I never thought I'd have to drink from that fountain. No, no. See, to me, we both reached home, but got caught in an act. We were standing our ground, neither one of us was giving up slack. Yeah, I was waiting on you to give it up back to the way it was. But then a whole high power has come around saying, give it up, give it up. I know I ain't been so perfect. Never said I'm bad in 1,000. Didn't think I wanna have to climb that mountain. I just want to give respect. I'll be the point of your regret. Never thought I'd have to drink from that fountain.
to get you in the shot, but what happens on Facebook Live is if you start moving the camera during it, it goes blurry. So we have to kind of keep it a static shot. Terry, we got to get you in the shot. Come on, Terry.
I'm just going to count on being in the
People
side.
are seeing that fine ass bass playing over there.
Can we do that song again now?
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll have to.
Trying to figure out how to get you all in the shot.
I know I'm honored that we have such a big group here. And I know you don't normally do that. Is that better?
Just move a lot, Terry.
Just scrunch.
Scrunch.
Don't mess it up.
I got them all.
Okay, you can. Okay.
Leap of faith. Let's do that.
So in the Babylon Social Club, it's Sarah and
Any better?
Yes.
taking turns and doing things together.
It'll have to work.
I don't think we can get any cozy.
We're all, we're all
Jason, by the way, if you turn the knob on that, look, that, never just that. If you loosen it, you can smoothly pan. If you loosen it, no, turn it more. No, loosen that. Ah, now you can pan. See? Try it.
If it's not, we'll go
Just
right.
that. That's what we do.
We're gonna do this in B, right? Let's do it in the key, I understand.
What do we do?
Leap of faith.
Oh, okay.
Grab the key.
It is such an honor for me to get to sing with this man here.
Oh, no, my honor.
He's being very subdued today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
After my baby quit me, I wanted to go outside. And when my friends tried to fix me up, I climbed up underneath my bed and hide. Knew that I was about to change my look till I got up my courage enough to try. Then I went ahead and spread my wings and found out that I could fly. Sometimes all it takes to leave a fade. Oh yeah. Sometimes all it takes to leave a fade.
I had no way to know what might come from my first kiss. Scares me now just to think about all that good love that I might miss. I know I was just trying to find someone I want to see myself as a survivor. But I had to rise up from the ashes of love, jump back into the fire.
Sometimes all it takes to leave a fade. Sometimes all it takes to leave a fade. Sometimes you got to believe before you see the good. You wait a lifetime from going on to this. Sometimes all it takes. Sometimes all it takes. Sometimes all it takes to leave a fade. No, thank you, girl. audience, man. Can we take y'all with us? Y'all live close?
Because we don't, right?
Yeah, we don't live close.
We don't.
That used to be this lit so early in the day.
I know, it is a little scary, isn't it? You want to do The Wind Cries the Blues?
Sure, please.
We have, that's always the thing, and I'm sure all you guys who perform know it's always, we have so many great ballads, but you just can't, you can't put a lot of ballads in a set. At least,
You can't for these people?
I could for these. They
They
don't
fall asleep,
care.
we'll wake them back.
Well, anyway, that's what, let me see if I want. So we were deciding, but we thought, you know what, we want to hear Snuffy play on this one. That's how we picked this one. There you go. This man can play the fiddles.
Sure.
It's a duet. It's a love song.
Sing a little bit to me.
He's like,
Sorry.
you're being so quiet today, little darling. I think Leslie's moving away.
No.
He is.
We don't want that. Don't go.
Well, he says he's moving. I will just say that, okay? He claims that he's moving.
I say a lot of things.
This is a song that you know, as you guys know, when you do a lot of original stuff, because we have like tons and tons of original things, but sometimes when you're doing a live show, people like to hear stuff they've heard before. Sometimes it has come to my attention that people can't tell if you're any good or not, really. They think you're good. No, I mean, seriously, they think you're good, but they don't really know because they don't have anything to go by. You know what I mean? So we throw in a cover song here and there just because we...
Do we?
I do, yeah, because it's fun. And so we've been doing this in the Rhythm Tramps for a while, and the Babylon Social Club's been doing it too. So
I never knew that.
what?
This is my edit.
Edit hard?
It's a Etta James and Harvey Fuqua.
Hello.
And you started this time.
And I started. Yeah, we do totally different arrangements of it. So I will be stomping my way through it so that they find their way. So ready?
If I can.
Amazing. Thank you. Ah! So we're going to liven it up a little bit here.
Captive audience.
Here's the song that we do in the Rhythm Tramps. All I Want to Do Is Dance.
Oh, okay.
And you know, it's funny because this song is called All I Want to Do Is Dance, and people rarely dance to it. I'm not sure why. It's weird. Of course, I can't dance at all. I'm with you. I'm wherever Adam is. I'm cheap.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's.
That'll help me.
I just admire people who can dance. Our daughter is a dancer. She's so graceful and lovely, and she dances to this. So there you go.
So we got that going for us. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
thinking, next thing you know, you're going to have to expand and get a dance floor.
We need a bigger boat.
No,
Get a bigger boat.
I would say this is perfect. This is just perfect. Thank you guys so much. I don't know how much we got more songs, but
Do another song. Come on.
yeah. Should we steer it up or should we do another?
You've got a lot of people standing, so I'm thinking you should do something else that you can dance to. Look
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get Leslie to sing one. And y'all, this is one y'all can all sing along on. This E.
You can still dance.
We should get some good harmonies going on.
Come on and steer it up. Little darling, steer it up. Oh, yeah. Steer it up. Little darling, it's been a long, long time since I had you on my mind. As long as you are here, my dear, it's very clear what we can do. Just me and you, come on and steer it up. Hey, hey. Little darling, steer it up. Oh, mommy, steer it up. Little darling, I'll push the wood. Raise the fire, and I'll satisfy your heart's desire. If you got a minute, what we can do, just keep it in it. Come on and steer it up. Hey, yeah. Little darling, steer it up. Oh, yeah. Steer it up. Little darling. Come on, Terry.
Anybody else playing?
It's all yours, darling.
Let's darling.
Little darling.
Got it.
Very good.
You got it. That's verse.
Man. Thank you. That was a second verse. Push the bud. I'll raise a fire, and I'll satisfy your heart's desire. If you
I'm excited. So let me ask you this, Vicki. Can we see this on Facebook?
You can see this on the Facebook.
Do we want to, guys?
I don't know. I'm glad you told me, so no.
Terry very much. Terry's been.
That's by his agenda.
She's enough on me.
So I know this. What I really appreciate about this deal that you're doing is all about the creative aspect of writing, and I loved your reading that you did from your book, and
Yeah, that was great.
And Adam, oh my gosh, everybody, it's amazing. I can't even imagine. But I'm Snuffy asked me if I would do this song today, so I'm doing this. It's another cover song, but it's, I'm not a very prolific writer, so I find my joy in finding great songs and inserting myself into them and trying to bring out what the songwriter intended. It's I've been teaching a little bit out at the LA College of Music, and I tell my students, I say it's not really about the singer, it's about the song. Because if you bring out the heart of the song and really sell it, then you're selling yourself. It's just when it drives me crazy nowadays. So many singers, it's so much all about them, and they're that's what I go but it's really about the words and the message and the melody and the song. And this has always been one of my favorites, and I guess it's yours too, darling, because you asked for it. So here we go. So it's been done a million times.
Just got to have a little faith in me, baby. Ooh, yeah. Just a little bit of love and faith in me.
We'll see y'all next month. Thanks. Thanks, Jason.